Imagine this. You walk into a room and every head turns toward you. Some admire you, others envy you, and some even wish they could stand in your shoes. But instead of feeling elated by the attention, you feel nothing. Why? Because your confidence isn't built on the opinions of others. You stand firm, rooted in who you are, not in who others think you should be. Security comes from within, a truth often overlooked in a world that thrives on external validation. In modern society, where social media metrics, public recognition, and constant affirmation dictate self-worth for many, a man who derives his confidence solely from within is a rarity. He doesn't rely on the opinions of others to shape his identity. Instead, he stands firm, unshaken by external judgments, because his sense of self is rooted in something far deeper than fleeting applause or societal trends. Such a man has a profound understanding of himself. He has taken the time to reflect on his strengths, weaknesses, values, and purpose. This self-awareness allows him to navigate life with clarity and conviction, without the need for approval from others. He knows who he is and what he stands for, which provides him with a foundation of unshakable confidence. This inner security is not dependent on how many friends he has, what others think of him, or whether he fits into societal expectations. His validation comes from aligning his actions with his principles, not from seeking the affirmation of others. When a man is secure within himself, he becomes immune to the traps of comparison and competition. He doesn't feel the need to measure his success against others or prove his worth through material possessions or social status. This independence liberates him from the exhausting pursuit of keeping up appearances, allowing him to focus on what truly matters. He is free to set his own goals and pursue them on his terms without being swayed by external pressures or the need to conform. This internal security also gives him the strength to embrace solitude. He doesn't view time alone as a void to be filled, but as an opportunity to recharge, reflect, and grow. In solitude, he finds clarity, creativity, and peace. He doesn't need the constant company of others to feel validated or fulfilled. This self-reliance is a powerful trait that not only fosters resilience, but also cultivates a deeper understanding of life and purpose. Such a man approaches relationships differently. He doesn't seek connections to fill a void or to gain a sense of belonging. Instead, he values genuine, meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and shared values. His interactions are not driven by insecurity or the need for approval, but by a sincere desire to connect and contribute. This approach often leads to fewer relationships, but they are of higher quality and depth. The man who finds security within himself stands apart because he doesn't let the world dictate his worth. He is not swayed by trends, criticism, or fleeting popularity. His sense of self is like a deep-rooted tree, unshaken by the strongest winds. This kind of inner strength is rare, but profoundly impactful. It allows him to lead a life of authenticity, purpose, and peace, unaffected by the noise of the world around him. Such a man becomes a beacon of stability in a society that constantly seeks external validation. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but it is one of the most powerful states a person can embrace. A man who is secure in himself sees solitude not as a void to be feared, but as a sanctuary where clarity, strength, and purpose are cultivated. In a world that constantly demands connection and interaction, the ability to be alone and thrive in that state is a testament to true inner security. Solitude is not about isolation or detachment from society. It is about creating a space where personal growth, reflection, and self-discovery can flourish. When a man embraces solitude, he steps away from the noise of the world and into a space where he can hear his own thoughts clearly. The opinions, expectations, and distractions of others fade away, leaving room for introspection. In this stillness, he can assess his goals, values, and priorities without external influence. He can confront his fears, analyze his failures, and celebrate his successes. This level of self-awareness is impossible to achieve in the constant chatter of social circles or the relentless demands of modern life. Solitude becomes a crucible for self-improvement and mental clarity. Solitude also fosters creativity and innovation. Some of history's greatest minds, thinkers, artists, inventors, have credited their breakthroughs to the time they spent alone. In solitude, the mind is free to wander, explore, and connect ideas in ways that would be impossible in the midst of distractions. A secure man values this creative potential and knows that his greatest ideas often emerge in moments of quiet reflection. He does not fear being alone with his thoughts because he has developed the discipline to channel them productively. Moreover, solitude builds resilience. When a man can find comfort and strength within himself, he becomes less dependent on external sources of support. He learns to rely on his inner resources to navigate challenges and overcome obstacles. This self-reliance does not mean he avoids relationships or refuses help, but rather that he does not crumble in its absence. Solitude teaches him that he is capable of standing on his own, facing adversity head-on, and emerging stronger. Another powerful aspect of solitude is the peace it brings. A man who embraces solitude is not overwhelmed by the chaos of the world or the drama of large social circles. He experiences a calm that comes from being in control of his time and energy. This peace allows him to focus on what truly matters and avoid the distractions that often come with an overly crowded life. He is selective about the people and activities he allows into his space, ensuring they align with his values and contribute to his well-being. Solitude is not a sign of loneliness, but a reflection of inner strength. A man who can be alone and content has mastered one of life's greatest challenges. He knows that solitude is not an emptiness to be filled, but a treasure to be embraced. In this space of quiet and stillness, he finds clarity, purpose, and power, emerging as a man who is secure, focused, and unshakable. Quality over quantity is a principle that governs the life of a man with a small circle or no friends. In a society that often equates success with popularity and social connections, this man intentionally chooses depth over breadth in his relationships. He understands that the value of a relationship lies not in its number, but in its authenticity, trust, and mutual respect. By prioritizing quality, he creates a life enriched by meaningful connections rather than one diluted by superficial ties. A man who values quality in relationships seeks depth in every interaction. He is not interested in shallow acquaintances that are built on convenience, flattery, or social obligation. Instead, he focuses on cultivating bonds that stand the test of time and challenges. These relationships are built on trust, mutual understanding, and a shared sense of purpose. So he knows that one genuine connection, where both parties truly support and understand each other, is far more valuable than 100 superficial ones. His focus on quality also allows him to conserve his energy and emotional resources. Maintaining a large social circle often requires significant time and effort, as it involves juggling numerous relationships, keeping up appearances, and navigating the complexities of group dynamics. A man who prioritizes quality over quantity avoids this grain. He invests his time and energy in a select few people who truly matter, ensuring that these relationships are strong, healthy, and mutually enriching. This approach not only simplifies his life, but also allows him to be fully present and engaged with the people who truly matter. Choosing quality over quantity also means avoiding unnecessary drama and conflicts. Large social circles often come with a host of complications, misunderstandings, gossip, and competing interests. A man with a small circle or no friends steers clear of these distractions. By surrounding himself with a few trustworthy and like-minded individuals, or even by embracing solitude, he creates a peaceful and stable environment where his emotional well-being is protected. He does not waste his time trying to please everyone or resolving conflicts that arise from superficial connections. This emphasis on quality reflects his values and self-worth. A man who chooses depth in his relationships demonstrates that he respects himself and his time. He does not settle for shallow interactions or connections that do not align with his principles. This self-respect sets the tone for his relationships, ensuring that they are grounded in mutual appreciation and respect. It also signals to others that he values authenticity, which attracts individuals who share his mindset. The principle of quality over quantity liberates a man from the societal pressure to measure his worth by the size of his social circle. He is not concerned with impressing others or meeting societal expectations of popularity. Instead, he focuses on building a life that is fulfilling, purposeful, and true to his values. Whether he has a small circle of close friends or embraces the strength of solitude, his choice reflects a profound understanding of what truly matters in life: meaningful connections, peace of mind, and a life lived authentically. Let's celebrate his presence and rest in peace. Focus on purpose defines the life of a man who keeps his circle small or lives without a need for constant companionship. He understands that life is finite, and the energy he invests must align with his goals and aspirations. This clarity of purpose enables him to channel his time, effort, and focus toward meaningful pursuits, rather than dispersing them in the endless social obligations and distractions that often come with a larger network. His drive is not fueled by a need to be seen or accepted, but by an intrinsic commitment to fulfilling his personal vision. Purpose gives structure to his life. It acts as a guiding force that keeps him grounded and focused, even in the face of societal expectations to maintain a wide social circle. He doesn't view his limited connections as a deficiency, but as a deliberate choice that allows him to prioritize what truly matters. Instead of seeking validation through relationships, he measures his success by his progress toward his goals. His actions are intentional, designed to bring him closer to his aspirations rather than appease the crowd. His focus on purpose also sharpens his decision-making. Without the distractions of superficial relationships or societal pressures, he can make choices rooted in his own values and long-term vision. He evaluates opportunities, commitments, and relationships through the lens of their alignment with his purpose. If something doesn't contribute to his growth or align with his goals, he has no hesitation in letting it go. This clarity ensures that every step he takes is meaningful, reducing wasted effort and maximizing his impact. A man driven by purpose is often misunderstood by those who prioritize social connections over personal goals. His decision to limit his circle or embrace solitude might be seen as aloofness or arrogance, but in reality, it reflects his dedication to his vision. He is not avoiding people, he is avoiding distractions. He recognizes that the energy spent trying to maintain superficial relationships can be better invested in his personal development, career, or passions. This focus often leads to greater achievements and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Purpose also provides a profound sense of fulfillment that no amount of social validation can replicate. When a man dedicates himself to something meaningful, he experiences a sense of accomplishment and self-worth that comes from within. This internal satisfaction is far more enduring than the fleeting approval of others. He doesn't rely on external praise to feel valuable, because his purpose gives his life meaning even when no one is watching. Huh? 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 Ha, 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 I see it. This focus on purpose allows him to inspire and uplift others in a meaningful way. By living authentically and pursuing his goals with determination, he sets an example of discipline, resilience, and commitment. He may not have a large circle, but those who are part of his life benefit from his unwavering sense of direction and purpose. A man who focuses on purpose lives a life of intentionality and authenticity. He is not distracted by the noise of the world, but is guided by a clear vision of what he wants to achieve. This focus enables him to live deeply, work passionately, and leave a legacy that reflects his true self. So, freedom from drama is one of the most liberating benefits of having a small circle or choosing solitude. A man who prioritizes his peace over the noise of large social circles understands that life is too valuable to be consumed by unnecessary conflicts, misunderstandings, and emotional turbulence. He deliberately creates an environment of tranquility by keeping his relationships simple, genuine, and drama-free. His choice is not about avoiding people, it's about protecting his mental and emotional well-being. Drama thrives in environments where boundaries are unclear, communication is shallow, and priorities are misplaced. Large social circles often bring these elements into play. Misunderstandings are more frequent, egos clash, and differing expectations create friction. A man with a small circle or no circle at all avoids these dynamics by limiting his interactions to those that align with his values and priorities. By surrounding himself with a select few individuals who share his mindset, or by embracing his own company, he minimizes the potential for conflict and maintains a sense of calm. This freedom from drama allows him to focus on what truly matters. He doesn't have to waste time and energy navigating petty disputes, addressing gossip, or resolving conflicts that add no value to his life. Instead, he channels his efforts toward his goals, passions, and personal growth. Without the distraction of interpersonal tensions, he can think more clearly, act more decisively, and make progress without being pulled into the chaos of others' lives. Choosing a drama-free life also fosters emotional stability. Drama often creates a roller coaster of emotions, from frustration to anger to exhaustion. By keeping his circle small or embracing solitude, he removes himself from the sources of such emotional turmoil. This stability not only improves his mental health, but also enhances his ability to handle life's challenges. With fewer distractions and conflicts, he can approach problems with a clear mind and a steady heart, making better decisions and maintaining his composure in difficult situations. Another powerful aspect of this choice is the clarity it brings to relationships. A man who seeks freedom from drama surrounds himself with people who value honesty, respect, and simplicity. He avoids toxic relationships that drain his energy and instead invests in connections that are uplifting and supportive. This approach ensures that his relationships are not only peaceful, but also meaningful. He knows that even a single genuine friendship is worth far more than a dozen connections fraught with complications. By rejecting drama, he also reclaims control over his time. Large social circles and dramatic relationships often demand constant attention, leaving little room for self-care or personal pursuits. A man who limits his social interactions ensures that his time is his own, allowing him to focus on his priorities without external interference. This autonomy empowers him to live life on his terms, free from the expectations and obligations that often come with maintaining a wide network. Ultimately, freedom from drama is a choice to value peace over chaos, simplicity over complexity, and authenticity over superficiality. A man who embraces this freedom is not isolating himself. He is protecting his well-being and creating a life of purpose and tranquility. In doing so, he exemplifies the strength and wisdom required to prioritize what truly matters. Je t'aime. A legacy built on authenticity is one of the most profound outcomes of a man who lives with no friends or a very small circle. Such a man chooses to lead a life rooted in truth and integrity rather than in pretense or conformity. He does not allow societal expectations, peer pressure, or the need for approval to dictate his actions. Instead, he carves a path uniquely his own, leaving behind a legacy that reflects who he truly is. And his life becomes a testament to living authentically, inspiring others to do the same. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. A man who prioritizes living genuinely knows himself deeply, his values, strengths, weaknesses, and purpose. This clarity allows him to make decisions that align with his true self, rather than choices influenced by the opinions or expectations of others. He doesn't try to fit into molds that don't suit him or seek validation from external sources. This self-honesty lays the foundation for a life that is consistent, reliable, and deeply fulfilling. By living authentically, this man sets himself apart in a world where many people hide behind facades to gain acceptance. He is not concerned with appearing perfect or impressing others. Instead, he focuses on being honest about his journey, embracing his imperfections, and staying true to his principles. This transparency not only gives him inner peace, but also earns the respect of those who value sincerity. Even with a small circle or none at all, he impacts others by showing them the power of living authentically. Such a man's legacy is built on the strength of his convictions. His actions, decisions, and accomplishments reflect his core beliefs, creating a life of integrity that resonates far beyond his immediate environment. Whether he's pursuing a career, building something meaningful, or simply living a life of quiet purpose, his commitment to authenticity leaves a lasting impression. My goal is legacy is not measured by the number of people who knew him, but by the depth of the impact he made on those who did. This commitment to authenticity also means that he embraces his individuality. He doesn't conform to trends or follow the crowd. Instead, he chooses a path that aligns with his unique skills, interests, and aspirations. This courage to be different is what makes his life and legacy stand out. He teaches others that it's okay to walk alone if that path is truest to who they are. His example encourages people to break free from societal norms and pursue their own versions of success. A man who builds his legacy on authenticity also creates a ripple effect. Even though he may not actively seek to influence others, his actions inspire those around him to live more truthfully. People are drawn to his integrity and admire his unwavering sense of self. His legacy becomes more than just his personal story. It becomes a guide for others to live with purpose and authenticity in their own lives. A legacy built on authenticity is timeless. While popularity fades and superficial connections dissolve, the impact of a life lived genuinely endures. A man who embraces this way of living doesn't need a large audience to validate his worth. His legacy is not about the applause of the many, but about the respect and admiration of those who value truth and integrity. This is what makes his life truly meaningful and his legacy unforgettable. In conclusion, a man with no friends or a very small circle is not a man to be pitied, but a man to be respected. He is a man who has chosen inner security over external validation, solitude over superficiality, quality over quantity, purpose over distraction, peace over drama, and authenticity over conformity. His life is not defined by the size of his social network, but by the strength of his character and the clarity of his vision. Such a man is not afraid to stand alone because he knows that true strength comes from within. He does not rely on the opinions of others to determine his worth, nor does he need a crowd to feel significant. Instead, he walks his path with confidence, guided by his values, his purpose, and his unwavering commitment to living authentically. His small circle or even his solitude is a deliberate choice, a reflection of his desire to protect his peace, focus on what truly matters, and live a life of depth and meaning. In a world that often equates popularity with success, he stands as a powerful example of what it means to live authentically and purposefully. This man's life is not only secure, but also profoundly impactful. He leaves behind a legacy of wisdom, resilience, and authenticity that inspires others to look within and build lives of their own that are rooted in truth. Strength is a reminder that it's not the number of people around you that matters, but the quality of your relationships, the clarity of your purpose, and the integrity with which you live your life. Thought of security and peace and the expansion of the heart like the heart is meant to be. So let us celebrate the strength and security of such a man who is unshaken by the noise of the world, unfazed by the expectations of others, and unwavering in his pursuit of a meaningful and authentic life. In his example, we find the courage to redefine what it means to truly live, not for the applause of the many, but for the peace, purpose, and fulfillment that only come from within.